Yo, what's poppin', everybody? I'm Al Mega with my co-host from Comic Crusaders and ASAP Comics. Right? ASAP Comics, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what's the clothing line?
Oh, AF4 clothing.
And then A4 Clothing. Look, this guy's a boss. He's doing everything. You know what I mean? Talking about PA Hayden. What's up, bro?
I'm all right, man. How's it going?
Oh, it's going amazing because you see who else is on screen here?
I do.
Yo, these are the winners of the GeekFest at Home Comic Con Film Fest this year. Woo, we talked to them earlier. So, so happy for you guys. Well deserved. So, if you don't mind starting with, of course, ladies first, would you mind introducing yourself, Leah?
Hi, I'm Leah Welch, and I was the co-writer along with Josh, and I was the producer of the film along with Katrina Kudlick.
And now, the gentleman you see at the bottom, Endless Mouth Studio, since Josh was already mentioned, Josh, let's start with you.
Hi, Josh Weathersby, co-writer, director, and executive producer on Laundry Day, which is just an absolutely great film. And I have with me two very indispensable people. Over here, we've got Dan. Introduce yourself.
Dan Haff. I was the editor on the film and also PA on set.
RJ Tucker, actor and PA and other various tasks on set.
Oh man, awesome, excellent. And guys, before we even get into chit-chat, all right, let's give you an idea of what this awesome film was all about with the Laundry Day trailer.
It's in our DNA, the promise of things to come. LexCorp is at the intersection of that promise between science and technology, an engineered hope for humanity's future. LexCorp.
I forgot to breathe when you walked into view, but you were breathing just fine as you walked by. You're so fast, I blinked and then you were gone, just like that. That's my life with you, my life without you. I just wanna fly and catch up to you. Cause you fly so high, I can't keep up with you.
The world can be a dark place. You think you're safe with your bank, the cafe's Wi-Fi, or your home security system. When things go bump in the digital dark, Wayne Tech bumps back.
Belly buster, belly bloater, belly flop. Is your mouth watering yet? Big Belly Burger. Burgers your grandpa ate. It's belly good.
God damn, that burger just made my mouth water. That double burger looked giant. I did one of those at some spot. It was like a 1 pound burger. Everybody was watching me because I'm supposedly not supposed to share it to see if I actually win. I won a $10 game card and about 3 days worth of shitting. It was horrible. Guys, man, wasn't that awesome? Laundry Day is fire. And if you kind of caught any nuances there, I was just very tied into kind of the DC universe here. You know I caught an ill nuance that my man Paul didn't even bring up before. You know, I was talking to everybody prior to this. Is like a certain conversation in there. This Superman here is the John Byrne version, based just on the explanation how Lois broke him down, the Man of Steel, if you will, Mini. So I love that. I caught that. I was like, ooh, so geeky. I love it. So yeah, man. Let's get again once a little bit into more in the production of the film. I mean, did I catch something there? Did you actually get inspired by any of that Byrne stuff?
Well, actually, for me, it's more of a pastiche of like the way Superman's been presented throughout the years. Like at one point she calls him a stranger in a strange land, and I felt like that was a little bit more like a Superman American Alien kind of there. And Lois also calls him a fortress at one point. So there's you see some of these different interpretations of Superman over the years kind of rolled into one with this sort of, because we were really focusing also on the Clark character. So we're sort of hinting at a lot of that other stuff and wanting to, and you notice like we don't really name the characters in the beginning. So we're really wanting to kind of drop very subtle clues so that people in the audience who would pick up those clues would know, and other people in the audience who wouldn't would be kind of, maybe out of the loop until a certain point. Our favorite game to play is to watch the audience to see how long it takes them to pick up on exactly what they're watching.
To click, yeah,
Brilliant.
man. Let me tell you, because I watched it. That was exactly the process. I kept seeing this kid, all right, boom, boom, and just what the conversations. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, wait. I should have done one of those moments for you guys on video. I was like, oh shit, wait a minute, this is fire. What's going on here? This is very cool, and I love that you guys did that and how purposely you did that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I mean, you can't really see it behind me, but there's like a huge tower of boxes of comic books that go back to when I was like 11 or 12 and first started collecting comics.
Oh, really? Really? Are they in mint condition? And may I please have your address?
Yeah, I've got quite a few, and they're in pretty good condition. But I mean, like you grow up reading about Superman in the comic books. My mom grew up listening to Superman radio serials and seeing the. And she told me about all that stuff, and I've hunted some of that stuff down over the years. And I'm not even actually like a Superman super fan. My favorite DC character is the Flash or the Ray, and Static Shock, and then of course the classic Superman and Batman. But it's like for me, like as I've gotten older, my taste matured. I've developed more sophisticated interests, if you will, in other comic book characters. But of course, like Superman is like the classic. When I was a kid, the Superman movies were really popular. There was a couple of Superman and Superboy TV shows. The Adventures of Superboy. There was the.
I mean, it was horrible, but at least we had something.
Clark and Lois, and then like all of the different cartoon iterations. So there's a lot to draw from in terms of source material. And when you're, in a general audience, you have to kind of think about like, who's gonna really pick up on certain things. But then as a nerd, you want to put in like a lot of those deep cut references and Easter eggs so that other nerds like you can like you did, like, find those little gems. And
I was like, ooh.
It just warms your heart, right? Like you connect with it on a different level. Yeah,
it's nice to see it stripped back as well. Like we discussed last time, it's nice to see the focus being on Clark.
Exactly.
And that's definitely what I enjoyed about it. It was beautiful.
So Leah, what's your story with Superman here? Being that you were involved, have you been a fan, or is this something you stepped into just for an iconic character?
Well, I don't know what you guys are going to think about this, but I didn't buy comic books as a kid. I would sneak into my brother's room and read his comic books and then get yelled at.
Cost effective, that's fine.
Yeah, cost effective. I had no money as a child. But Josh invited me in on this project, and since meeting him and getting involved in this project, I've spent way too much money on comic books, and am a new fan, I guess you could say. But I love this story because you have Superman who is invincible, right? Except when it comes to love. And that to me is it's so universal, and people can really, really relate to it. And it allows a different angle into this story that's so well known.
I agree.
Definitely.
I saw that connection, and it made, this alien that is Clark so human in a sense, He's still, kind of awkward and weird, he's just uncomfortable in a sense.
Yeah.
I mean, that's in, he's Superman, but yet he doesn't even have change in his pocket to do laundry.
He has no game.
He's just a farm boy from Kansas. What do you expect? He's new to the big city.
Yeah, man, but there's obviously a connecting tool there, that he makes himself, that all of a sudden kind of open a door for him to, to open up his max side a little bit there. and being noticed, like, all right, this dude isn't that bad, even though he may be some hick.
Well, some people say that having no game is still game.
Oh, it is. People are trying that, of course. Like, he's just playing the game. Like, all right, no, I don't have game. Well, sure, whatever you want to believe. Thank you. This is great. So, are we gonna get, from Endless Mile maybe an expanded universe on this? Of those
that'd be cool.
type of tales. Yeah.
Actually, you heard me mention I really like the Ray and Static Shock, and one of the things I would love to do is a Ray and Static Shock, another short film like this. I'd love to develop it as a feature film eventually, but I'd have to, be in a meeting with DC Warner Brothers to do that.
It's coming, but AT&T actually, they're gonna love video. They hate comics, but if you got a movie idea, they're gonna love you.
Well, imagine the Ray and Static Shock in kind of like a training day, like police academy kind of like vibe, where they're like, maybe not as serious as everything going on Training Day, but they're like kind of partners. Think of like Lethal Weapon, Bad Boys.
Cool. I like that.
It's just following them on their patrol. It's sort of like
that's a crazy power set to have together too, man. That's some kick ass. That's scary.
exactly my point. Like, these are kind of big guns, and but you could do something like a Justice League kind of lower decks, because these are not like, when you think of the Justice League, you typically think of the big seven, you know, and so these are not like the first names that come up, but they've both been in various branches of either the Justice League or Young Justice. So I think it really, I think it really would work. I think it would be an interesting dynamic.
Did I hear somebody have an idea?
Yeah, I mean, especially where the Ray is coming from, and so to expand the universe, we would definitely want to have like our Clark and Lois kind of like in the background reporting on things. You might see, like Jack again in the Superman suit if we can get him for that one. But yeah, like that kind of stuff would be really cool. Even some of the other reporters that we established in that world, my good friend Josh Silverstein and Mikey Beatty, we'd like to get them back for first. At least voice cameos or something like that would be really cool.
Absolutely.
I really love that angle. I'm sorry.
We used Jack and Olivia for pandemic awareness recently.
Oh,
we
word?
released a couple of short videos with them in those roles, and you can hear them kind of talking to each other.
Are they on the Endless Mile Studio website?
It's kind of fun. You see Jack dressed up in Superman PJs eating a bowl of cereal. It's hilarious.
Awesome.
You can find that on our YouTube page. You were going to say that?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, they are on the YouTube page. So if anyone wants to check them out, they're there.
And on all of our social medias, which you can get to through the Endless Mile Studios website.
Excellent. There you go. This is what I've been blasting here, showing you guys off. Because, I mean, you guys need to have a following. You guys are ill, son. You know what I mean? And I see this expanded universe, and I like that Daily Planet angle so much. Because, if you do it in this serious tone, but with a little bit of fun, attached to it with those gems, come on, CW, why are you not listening? Yo, Endless Mile is ready, yo. The Berlanti verse is okay, but we need you guys. We need you guys. For real.
Thank you.
No, definitely, man. So, what's next, though? Are there any other film festivals that you guys are working on establishing, or are we having a podcast, or what's going on here? What's being worked on? Come on, guys.
We submitted a podcast that Josh and I wrote to the Austin Film Festival. We'll be hearing back about that sometime this year. Josh and the whole team is working on our next feature.
Any scoops, teases, anything?
It's called Rocky's Galaxy. It takes place at a comic book store in the Valley, near LA.
Okay.
And it's about our protagonist Rocky having just about the worst day in her life, and it gets worse for everybody else from there. I don't want to say too much more about it at this point, because we're still working on getting a lot of things together. We're planning to shoot that in the next month or two.
Yeah,
Awesome.
We're gonna get so much. I can't wait. I hope that this is just something that's gonna be an ever expanding roster from the Endless Mile Studio team, man. I'm really excited. Now I want to get we won't even talk in a bit. I want to get into your geeky sides. You know what I mean? So Leah says she was just robbing steals from her brother. Josh has been a collector. You two guys in the corner has just been smiling, looking at you guys are modeling. I don't know. Any affiliate stuff around there? I'm looking. Let me, just kidding. So let me know where your fans come from.
Growing up, I was just a really big fan of a lot of the X-Men cartoons. As any '90s kid was. Yeah, they're definitely my favorite. I don't know if you can see on camera. But since then, actually, I've been following Leah's tactic and catching up on my comics that Josh gets. So saved me a lot of money. So I have a pretty limited comic world scope. But learning a lot.
That's fine though. But the cartoons is always an avenue. I mean, as a kid, it was my grandma when I was a baby in Puerto Rico before we moved to Brooklyn. You know, I was watching Mazinger Z, so you know, I was always into big robots. That's why I love Voltron. You know what I mean? Gundam and all this stuff.
Yeah,
I love robots. So that's what I'm saying. This is why I always when I talk about my team, like we gotta form like Voltron and take over. You know. Hope and thank God for Netflix. If not, that would have been a very old reference, and I would have been dating myself.
It's okay. You're among friends here.
Awesome. What about you, brother? He has his neck all wrapped up over here. Like, all right.
The social distancing mask just to be safe. But no, actually, I'm probably the odd man out that I was not a big comic book person. I'm still not really a big comic book person. I actually own only one comic that was gifted to me by someone that created it. I don't know if I fit in with the team in that aspect, but you know.
But where do your fandoms lie then, if not comics?
Yeah.
What are you a fan of?
I'm a fan of just good stories, and that was
you're like me, brother. Everything's Spanish, so long as it's good.
Yeah.
This guy has the most advanced racing setup in his house for virtual racing that I've ever seen.
I'll say, what you mean, like car racing? Don't tell me he has like a half a car sitting in his living room.
Not quite, but almost.
That is fire. I dig that shit too. If I had the space, but then my wife would kill me and probably kick me out the house, and let alone the living room.
Yeah, but no, I think not being a huge comic book person actually on this project helped a little bit, just because I came in, started doing the editing, and I was more focused on the interactions between Lois and Clark instead of these are Lois and Clark. They're supposed to fit some sort of box of who they are. I looked at it as more of, here's an interaction of two people meeting in a laundromat. And so kind of giving an outside perspective, I think, and focusing on their interactions, I think kind of lended itself to telling a good story.
And it shows in your skills, brother. That's, again, as I pointed out, we got a very human side of Clark here, which is, even though he's an alien, but you felt that, the awkwardness and, little nuances. And again, with the chains, all that, and even just seeing her underwear and that blushing type, it's funny. She's like, "Oh, well, you wear some underwear, might as well help me." It was awesome when you see these interactions. It's like, okay, it was really cute. It was romantic, So it's definitely a film that has a lot of heart in it, which is great. Things that we need today, folks. I mean, there's some real talk. You know what I mean? And I hope that the next film is also like that, full of heart. You know what I mean?
It is. It focuses on, we really want to uplift diverse voices at Endless Mile Studios. So it's an LGBTQ plus story, and it focuses on a bisexual protagonist, and just goes around and follows her for the day. And I want to stop myself because I don't want to ruin the end.
No, absolutely, definitely. But you see, this is great tidbits. I'm sure people are going to be excited. And once this is done, are you also going to submit this to Film Fest, or are you going to go with a different approach on release?
We're working on a few different routes that we can take with it, depending on either going through the festivals or getting a distribution deal for the film. So we haven't quite locked down exactly which path we're going to take yet, but we're kind of leaving all of the options on the table.
So, all right, so let's talk about festivals, man, because I like to get into the industry side a little bit, and just as a studio, doing films and whatnot. What do you feel are the biggest challenges when you're trying to get your film out there?
Especially for independents, like marketing is a thing that I find is kind of a challenge for a lot of people, because when people typically budget a film, a lot of times they forget to budget adequately for post, much less for marketing, for QC, distribution, the kinds of steps that like come after post, and some of those things should be going on during post to help get the market ready for your film. So there's like, and usually it's like the distribution companies are supposed to kind of help you out with some of that stuff, and some of them do, and they're really great about it. But a lot of others sort of leave, especially first-time filmmakers and independent filmmakers, like kind of floundering, trying to figure it out for themselves how to best get the word out for their film, and that can be really challenging. We're hoping to avoid some of those steps on our foray into feature films ourselves. But yeah, as far as festivals are concerned, I have some controversial opinions about festivals. I think niche festivals like horror film festivals, I think those are great for fans of specific genre. Kind of like the Fan Film Festival and GeekFest. I love GeekFest. I think it's like the perfect festival for me and our kind of films. But at the same time, like when you have like a feature film that you're trying to put out for a much broader appeal, I feel like you have there are a handful of festivals that, as a filmmaker, from a marketing standpoint, and this is just strictly business talk here, but from a marketing standpoint, there's only a handful of festivals that are really important. And I would say you could really even boil it down to like a top 3 list. And I feel like limiting your budget to go after like those, and then maybe adding 2 that are like kind of personal favorites are like kind of the way to go. Other people believe like just spread it like butter, get it out to as many things as possible, and get the word out that way. But in my mind, in my experience, and what I've seen like since the 90s and the boom in independent filmmaking, it's really been like 3 or 4 festivals that really drive the festival circuit and industry. Leah has different opinions, I'm sure, and less controversial.
I have very.
And I'm dying to hear these right now. He's there giving you a chance, and I see her like, "Ooh, man, hold on."
So sweet. Thank you.
What do we have here? How do you see it?
It depends. If you're doing an independent film, then you definitely want to go after places like Sundance or South by. And it gets weird because when you have a niche film like a sci-fi film, where do you take that? Where do you shop that? Where's the festival that has any kind of recognition? But I think South by does a really good job of boosting those films up. This past year, if it hadn't been for COVID, people would have been more introduced to the film Vast of Night, which blew my mind when I saw it at the drive-in. They released it at the drive-in. So that would have been a South by film. Horror films, I think you get, again, you go back to Sundance and you have the midnight thing that they do over there, which I got to do. I think that was really good. Shout out to Bill for GeekFest, because GeekFest it's amazing. And the point of festivals is to connect people and filmmakers. And I think it does a really great job. Like the Austin Film Festival, if you ever get a chance to go there, it's just a great way to meet people within your world that are doing the same things you're doing, and it's immediate boost and just immediate friends. So if you're looking to gain ground in your career in filmmaking, I think festivals are a great way to go.
That's cool. I was going to say, actually, speaking of GeekFest, because I know you got to meet some of the other people as well. Did you go into it as fans as well? Did you go, do you know what, this film, even though we want to win, but this film, I love this, what was it for you? Was there any particular kind of standouts?
Yeah, I really liked the work that on that the one called Hood.
Program. Yeah.
He did a great job, and it's so funny. And I like how he took what would have been kind of like a throwaway sketch idea on Robot Chicken and expanded that with a backstory and gave it some pathos, and like it really. Yeah, like that was just a labor of love, man. That was just a labor of love, and that was such a great film. I thought Balloon was really great and well executed.
Yes.
I loved most of the fan films, all of the fan films, really, I loved to death. The Poison Ivy one had a lot of great things going on. The Scoundrels movie had it was kind of a fun sort of take, and I you know what, I would be there for a feature length version of that story. I would,
absolutely.
I know Tucker and I went down to Long Beach when they had the comic expo down there in January, and we got to sit in the whole screening of all the fan films. And I have to say that period, we're watching all those films, I was just having so much fun watching each and every single one of them. Like, they were all really well made, and definitely range from like stuff that you expect to see through Marvel, like the Captain America kind of.
Yeah, that cap was fire. So the action scenes was great, the choreography.
All of the filmmakers that were involved in GeekFest, you know, I think it's a huge honor for us to have won, because all of the films that are part of GeekFest were so well done. You know, they all, honestly, my opinion, like, they all deserve to win something, because I started going through all of them, and I couldn't. I know some people probably were just going in like voting for like, oh, we're going to vote for our film, but there were so many other ones I was going in. I was just like, vote, because all of them were so good.
I really like to push the point. I like the fact that it was a musical. I like the fact that it took on like some gamer issues.
He was awesome. I spoke to him too. He's a great dude to chat with. Very energetic. So New York. I mean, he's the Energizer buddy. Oh my god! I was trying to hit the record button. I said, "Save this for the podcast, bro." Please. Great energy, man.
I really liked that some of the films had a message and a point and really had something to say. And the thing I liked about the Captain America film, like, it made me want to know what scene came before that and where is this going. You know?
Yeah.
What were your favorites, dude?
The Captain America one.
Yeah,
that one was my favorite. I thought the action sequence in that was just
besides Laundry Day.
Well, I mean, of course. But yeah, the Captain America one, I think it was so well executed. It just made me think from like a production standpoint, like, how did they do that? Organize all that sequence, and then to catch all the angles from a director's photography standpoint, TP standpoint. It's fantastic. I think that one got my attention the most.
Oh yeah. Leah, do you have any favorites from the fest?
I really like Hood. It was such a real labor of love to do that.
Yeah, he's a wonderful man as well.
He is. I've spoken to him a few times, and he's just always he's such a pleasure to talk to.
Yeah.
When I first watched it, just seeing the end, to see where he pulled that whole idea from, it was just a 1 second clip of this dude running with his ice cream machine. I'm like, what in the, you know, what? And like, wow, it blew my mind. Like, wow, dude, you pulled the whole joint out of that. That was fantastic. My man's hilarious. That was definitely one of my favorites as well. Other than, of course, Laundry Day, because, again, those little comic book geeky references. Man, Josh, and Leah, you sneaky people. I love it. You guys definitely got to watch it. Cause definitely
I do want to say that on our feature that's coming up, we are trying to find a way to fit Tucker in as the homeless.
Yes.
It's happening.
But the homeless man lives on in another piece. We'll see.
He should be the constant of the universe, and then apparently there's gonna be. If we do 5 of these where he's going around, you have him as the constant. He's, you know, something earth-shattering is gonna happen unless you protect the guy on the couch, you know, the guy on the laundry machine, or whatever he's laying at.
The indestructible nomad. That's what you need. Just
the laying man, because he laid down everywhere.
He deserves an origin story.
Yeah. He does. What happened? Why is the laying man always laying down? Until he has to lay it down and save the universe. Boom! There we are. Awesome. All right, guys. So again, you know, thanks for your time. We spent a half hour. It was a great chat. I just wanted to celebrate you guys, because you guys have, again, an awesome film, an awesome studio, an awesome energy. You know, it's just a big A all over the place. A+ over here. And everybody, you see it at the bottom. Endless Mouse Studio. Then you got EMS Studios _, or in the Instagram, Endless Mouse Studios. And what's that YouTube, so we could check out even more of that good stuff?
Just Endless Mouse Studios.
Everything.
Yeah.
I love you. See, smart people also that know how to brand their stuff, so nobody takes their name. Yeah, baby. I love it, man. Great energy, many blessings, continued success. I definitely want to see a lot more. And so let's make it happen. Let's make it pop. All right. So again, Paul, do you have any other last words for the Endless Mouse Studios team?
No, just love you guys. I think you're wicked, and I just want to say, RJ in his own film. I'm a happy boy. Then that's it.
Thank you.
Yay. All right, everybody. So we're closing out. Make sure to follow ComicCrusaders.com, UndercoverCapes.com. And where can they follow you, Paul?
You can follow me at writer P Hayden and also ASCP Comics as well.
And what about the fashion, man? I want to get some cool fashion.
AF4brand.com.
There you go. He's a pimp. He's taking over the universe. So please, everybody, check out everything that we got going on, to supplement your geeky needs. I'm Al Mega, and we're out.